A couple of years ago, I experienced the lowest point in my life, and it turned out to be the single biggest blessing I've ever had in my life. So in high school, I would say I was a pretty good student. I wasn't like stellar or anything, but I got A's and B's, and I did pretty well on my SAT. So when it came time to apply for colleges, I was pretty confident with the colleges I applied to. Well, fast forward 2 months after I actually applied to all of them, and I got denied by basically every school that I actually wanted to go to. So I settled on a school that was a local college, and I became a commuter. Now, I will say I did love this school. I actually got a scholarship from them, which was very generous as well. But I mean, that was never really in the cards for me. I was pretty depressed with the fact that I didn't get into any of the schools that I wanted to. So I made a decision. My first 2 years at this local college, I was going to work absolutely insanely hard, like the hardest that I had ever worked in my entire life. And my goal was to get a 4.0 GPA and transfer out my junior year to one of my dream schools. So I went to the local college and I worked my butt off. I was a computer science major, and I ended up getting a 4.0 GPA in computer science my first 2 years there. That basically means that I got straight A's, and there's no GPA higher than a 4.0. And on top of that, I actually did a bunch of extracurricular activities there too. One of which was trying to start my own startup, which ultimately failed. That's a whole other story. But basically the point is that I tried to work as hard as I could, probably the hardest that I ever tried to work in my life up until that point, in order to transfer out and actually go to one of my dream schools. So basically 2 years had passed, and it was time to start applying to more colleges so that in my junior year I could transfer and actually reap the benefit of, all of my hard work. So I applied to a bunch of Ivy League schools. Some of these were like Harvard, Yale, Columbia. I mean, those were like my dream schools, but I also applied to some like other schools that weren't as difficult to get into, because let's face it, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, those are extremely hard schools to get into. But I basically applied to like a list of 9 different schools that were all schools that I would have went to if I had gotten accepted into them. And well, I apply, I write what I thought was an incredible essay to these schools, and I basically put my heart and soul into this, and I got denied by every single one of those schools. Not one of those schools accepted me. I mean, the last 3 schools on that list were schools that I think I literally would have gotten accepted to from high school, but I was denied by every single school, and it crushed me. Like, absolutely crushed my soul. When I got these rejection letters back, I was literally at the lowest point in my entire life. I would like almost not want to get up from bed in the morning, just because, well, it felt like all of the hard work that I put into it was just completely decimated in a matter of a week. But pretty quickly, I started to realize how big of a blessing this actually was in disguise. Because I got denied by the schools, I got to stay local, and I stayed a commuter, and I actually got to spend so much more time with my family. I had virtually 0 student loans by the end of my education, and I ended up being able to pursue my dream career, which is this. And now I get to experience things that I never even thought was possible. Like literally this video, these are 3 jobs that I would have never in my entire life thought that I would have the chance to do, but because of this, I get to try a bunch of different things, and I get to, be in front of all of you guys and make these amazing videos for you guys. Like, I don't think a bigger blessing could have been possible. So what I'm trying to relay through this story is that no matter what you're going through right now, there might be purpose and reasoning behind it that you might not be able to see for a few years, but just something that I would have loved to tell myself in that moment is keep your head up, because you never know what the reason for things happening are. You might hear a lot of people say it, but it's very true. God's plan is a lot bigger than any of us can even realize. So I just want to say to all of you beautiful people watching this video, thank you so much for supporting me throughout these years and making my dream come true. And I really hope that through my videos, I could at least promote some positivity or like give some life lessons from my life. I know I'm pretty young, but I think me hearing a video like this when I was going through that moment would have been very helpful to me. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe and watch another video. I love you guys. Bye.